Man, so my whole thing is with this is I gotta keep it 100. At first, I was the biggest Karen hater. Like I did not like how she was moving. I was criticizing her. I thought she was tearing down Zac, the whole 9 yards. But then when I seen people like literally going in on her, I had to take a step back and go like, and she did. It's like she has been through the most out of all the sisters, and I feel like that's something that people don't understand from the standpoint of like you with this dude, he cheating on you, he giving you STDs that could have really ended her life, and it's like not only that, she witnessed somebody literally come into her salon and commit suicide, and
That
that's
part.
and that same night Zac didn't even comfort her. He came in the house with an attitude to try to start an argument. Like when I just really look back and think about like all the things that she's been through, from her business was almost falling apart to losing her customer, I'm just like, but I gotta really take a step back. I can't really go too hard on her because yes, she could have did some things better, different, and I stand on that. Like
Yep.
I don't think that she uplifted Zac. I don't not uplifted. She just didn't understand Zac's plight because she's thinking like he don't have no vision or he's just sitting on the couch. He's just satisfied with, working in the airport. I don't think she really understood that Zac came out of prison, out of jail. He can't just go get a job, a high paying job because he's not getting hired. So it was a lot of like misunderstandings, but I just don't like the way they going in on Karen because it's almost like when they call her bitter, it's almost feeling like they're just dismissing her feelings completely. And it's like she's mad for no
all of her
reason.
trauma. It's
It's
dismissed
like
all of her trauma. And it's like, damn, you can't even be mad in a black woman because
exactly.
you just bitter. This woman blew her damn head off in her salon. How
Exactly.
would these dumb diddies messing up all types of stuff?
And her friends, and let me say this too, her friends are starting to annoy me. Like I can't have no like they call themselves sisters or whatever, but especially Andy. Man, Andy has made me so mad because we say things like, "Oh yeah, that's my brother," or you know what I'm saying. I know a lot of women say that's my sister, but they not showing up for Karen enough for me because the fact that Andy, yes, I understand Fatima did a lot for Andy in terms of keeping her job and things like that, but Andy just seems like she just a snake to me. Like, you telling Karen that you out of it, that you're staying out of Zac and the whole situation. But then you in her office giving Fatima advice, telling her to go for it. If I was Karen, I'd be pissed off because like I've had your back. Like I truly believe people can say what they want about Karen, but Karen would I truly believe she would risk her life and her freedom if it meant to protect Andy from anything. Andy, I can't say the same about Andy. I can't. I can't say the same about any of them. But particularly Andy because we've seen Karen be there for Andy so much. So I kind of did like a whole 180, 360, or whatever you want to call it, from actually being annoyed with Karen to actually going back and saying, damn, wait a minute, bro. She had, like, we got to check ourselves because we're kind of being disrespectful to black women by just dismissing them. And I think it's because we see the powerful relationship of Zatima with Zac and Fatima that Karen presents a threat to that. But it's like, nah, man.
But she's not.
She she's Karen has been through the most. She's allowed to have feelings. And when she went off on Fatima, I felt like all that energy was really about Andy. Not really about Fatima. It was really about Andy. Like I'm saying, you're my friend, my best friend. Why are you taking her side in this moment? So I feel Karen. I feel her now. I do, and I've been defending her. And I can't tell you like
And we
I'm
be
going on.
our lives out here trying to communicate the perspective of Karen. And I don't think that people believe me when I say that I really do love Fatima. But I also don't think you have
Of course.
to choose.
See, to me, and that's the thing. Like I'm not team nobody. I'm just watching the show. I'm just watching the show, and it's just like bruh. And I see people so much. They dragging Karen. They dragging
You should
her.
see my DMs, and I'm just like, at
I'm
what
like,
point do you stop telling me because I don't care?
I'm like, I'm. This is the thing though. Danny gets pass after pass after pass after pass for doing some of the most just nonsense BS things that she could do. Oh my God, man. When I tell you Danny to me is okay, Andy is probably the one I'm more concerned with because she keep running back into an abusive relationship. And it's like, it comes a certain point in time where it's like, how much sympathy can you feel for somebody? Like if she's to take Gary back and he hurts her again. And you know how Andy loves to cry and shit. How much sympathy can I feel? No, for real.
None.
How much sympathy can I feel? Because it's like, at least with Karen, she tried to get out of a toxic situation. Not comparing Zac and Gary at all. I'm just saying she tried to leave her toxic situation. She tried. Andy is just going back, so I can't. But
and then honestly, my biggest thing with even having a conversation with Zac and Gary, to me, they're apples and oranges because there's no real love to me between Andy and Gary.
Exactly.
There's real ass love between Zac and Karen, which changes everything. You do goofy things, yo. You do mad, illogical, goofy things when you love somebody. Trust.
And no, but we need to talk about Danny. Danny's sitting in that apartment, drinking her life away, smoking her life away. Just doing like this, and I'm like, y'all too busy dragging Karen that Danny is over here and she's going to end up lonely. She's going to end up lonely. Like it's really bad for her. And it's like at some point in time, and this another problem that I have. The sister circle run to each other for advice. I need them to stop that because none of them are in any position to give any sort of advice on anything when it comes to a relationship.
We're going to give Danny today. We're going to give Danny tonight.
Yes, but can Danny follow her own advice when it comes to Preston?
Now, I ain't say all that because you already
know. What does Preston have to do? And I'm not trying to, I understand, I'm not a black woman. So I know I'm black, but I can't see but I'm like, okay, it's not like Preston, I'm not going to say that he can't learn some things on his own. Sure, nobody's saying like you should take Preston literally by the hand and show him. But goddamn, like he doesn't know all the things. It's like when he's coming to you saying, okay, at least show me. Let me learn you. And Danny is just like, no, you figure it out. But then the second he do something bad, all hell breaks loose.
Girl, give him a James Baldwin book. Introduce him to Bell Hooks.
Come on, man.
You could do something, girl.
Come on. You could do something.
You could be in this interracial relationship, honey. You could do something.
Yes. And that's the
Spotify playlist or something, honey.
That's the biggest thing. It's like
you watching on TV, boo. Give them something.
And to me, that's the biggest thing. And I know other people got to get on, but that's the biggest thing with Danny. It's like, man, you want to be in this relationship too. That's what I'm saying. Like you want to be in this relationship just as much as Preston does. But it feels like you just want Preston to do all the work while you get to sit back and complain about the things you like and don't like.
But then also don't communicate any of the things.
And don't communicate. Like, and that's the thing. That's the thing. And it's like, bro, when are they going to go out? When are they going to take a walk in the park? Anything other than just mess or have sex in that apartment, bro. At some point, that's overrated. Sex is overrated. Because
it's a false sense of intimacy.
Once you do it after a couple of times, I see it, I go, okay, I want to. But then it's like, what are we doing here?
We ain't building for sure.
They not building anything. And Preston can't stop being white. So if Preston is too much, like he's too like disconnected, then you just need to cut ties because he cannot stop being white.
Yep.
And don't even get me started with Sabrina. Oh my goodness. Sabrina and Calvin, bruh.
I feel like Sabrina is the easiest one because her stuff is literally just spinning in circles for no reason.
Yes, but the problem that I have with Sabrina, the only problem is I feel that she listens to her friends too much. Not listens to her friends because you gotta.
No, 100%.
Like
Why
she.
are you still listening or calling a friend that keeps calling your love interest Panty Man? As you say, I don't like you calling him Panty Man. If you don't respect my boundaries, one, are we friends? Two, why am I calling you? Because you clearly don't give a shit what I think
Exactly.
you feel.
Exactly. And that's the only other than I love Sabrina actually, but my thing is with Calvin, it's like, bruh, okay, we get it. You're different. But at the same time, I feel like you can't force Sabrina. I feel like a woman, and correct me if I'm wrong, right? But a woman has the right to decide, okay, I'm not judging you, but I'm just not for you. Like, I'm not knocking, hey, you like to wear panties and all of that, do all of that, cool. But I have a right to be like, nah, I don't want to do that. Am I wrong? Like, am I
No,
wrong?
you're 100% right.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, there's way too many men who are running around here thinking that women owe them certain things. We don't. And y'all two are literally just, one, not sexually compatible. Also, your lifestyles don't seem to be compatible.
Yes.
And that's it. That's all.
No. Who else got that relationship? And I think it's just Fatima, and even with Zac. I mean, he kind of get passes too because they coming at Karen for being disrespectful for Fatima. But how many times have we seen Aaron be Zac be disrespectful to Aaron? A bunch of times.
Plenty.
They don't want to
set the stage for it.
And that's
we don't want to have that conversation.
And that's my problem with it all. It's like y'all have no problems saying that Karen needs to move on, which she does. They are not a good. This is how I look at Karen and Zac relationship. I look at them like Jody and Yvette from Baby Boy. I look at them like Jody and Yvette from Baby Boy. They keep talking about how Karen is, she really talks trash to Zac, but it's like, man, it goes both ways because if you got somebody just constantly cheating on you and constantly dogging you, of course you're gonna be a little bit more sassier at the mouth. Of course you're not just gonna sit there and take it. So I think
I relate her mouth to her that being the only way that she feels like she can fight that. Because when you in a relationship, when I was cheated on at that time, I mean, and it's not great, like it's definitely toxic. So please be clear that I'm saying that this is toxic. But I wasn't at a place where I'm gonna fight a dude. But I will cuss your ass out because what else do I have? Like I'm a take it slow because I feel like you have taken it that place in this particular arena. I'm not about to go sleep with some dude and then burn you back, right? I'm not gonna go on you back. So all I have is what I can say to you so you can feel as horrible as I feel. And it's not right. But it is the reality of the thing, especially if you come from the hood and you don't know no better.
Exactly. And my thing is we just need to show grace, man. Like I'm not up here. I'm not finna bat. As a black man, it's enough public bashing a black woman. And I know people say it's just a show, but the reality is this is a real show with real characters. These are real people. Like I know I've seen you where you say you were Karen at one point. I know plenty of Andes who go back to abusive dudes. It's like, man, I'm not finna drag anybody. And the way I be seeing them just completely bash Karen, I was like, how much of that is like I know it's just a show, but God damn, man, that's how you actually feel as a person.
And I've had people make comments like, oh, you make things way too personal. This is how media is how we normalize things. So if you are able to normalize belittling this black woman who has gone through all this trauma without seeing any of this trauma on television, it's a lot easier for you to do it when that woman is sitting next to you, when that woman is in class with you, when that woman is at work with you. So I get how some people are like, it's just a show, but then also art imitates life.
Right, exactly. These are just real characters. These are real. It's just a show, but it's like really people who are actually in these toxic relationships. And I just wish, man, people would give Karen some grace. That's what I had to do because I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. I was completely against Karen, but then when you really just take a step back and you really just think and I rewatched, I'm like, yo, this woman has been through it. She has been through it,
I
man.
started posting videos and people was coming for me. I was like, let me go back and rewatch this. Maybe I got it wrong.
She's been through it, yo. She has been through it, man. She's been through it, and it's like she wants to be done, but it's like, wow, imagine you carrying this. She watched this man. She loves Zac. And one more point that I really want to hit home is like they keep saying, well, Karen left Zac. Yes, she left the Zac that was cheating on her, the Zac that was unfaithful, the Zac that showed no type of feelings for her whatsoever in terms of just giving her that, I don't know how to say it, but just giving her what she needs. So she saw that in Aaron. But it's not like she really wanted to be with Aaron. She wanted Zac to be Aaron.
From Zac.
Right, and she never had that before, so she was trying to find that. And so for Zac, the problem is Zac did change. And we must acknowledge that. He has changed. The problem is he's with somebody else. So her mind is like, that's supposed to be mine. Everything is supposed to be mine. And so, like, man, I get it. And you have to, you got to show her great. You got to show all of her.
You got to give her time to process that. It's hitting her like a ton of bricks. Like, all of it is like a ton of bricks.
It is. Yes, man. But hey, man, I just appreciate you for letting me actually come on here and talk about it because, man, it ain't enough Twitter characters. I ain't finna be writing no essays on Instagram, but it's just like I had to stand up for Karen because if black men not gonna stick up for black women, man, who will? Who will, man?
I'm so glad that you did it because you do not know how much you have warmed my heart. Sometimes it is so hard having some of these conversations and seeing some of the things that get said as a black woman in the space, especially when I do start to identify with people. And then I think the trip for me is that I am very honest and vulnerable with my audience and I share my actual experiences and I explain things to Karen. And then people are still disrespectful like they don't know. And I'm just like, damn, well, are you basically saying it to me too? So I'm having to process like, all right, Erica, just take a step back and don't necessarily take that in or take that on, even though it is pretty much people disregarding my complete experience.
Exactly, man. Like, yes.
And their negativity. So when you coming on and speaking in the way that you did, brother, looking how you looking and your glory, your melanin is popping.
I appreciate man.
To hear a black man be able to speak on us in the way that it means.
Ain't nobody else gonna do it. Ain't nobody else gonna do it. I gotta do it. But
I love you so much.
I appreciate you for having me. Yeah, for sure.
Later.
Yep.